For the last 3 years, I have competed in the World Championship and made my way all the way to the top 100 fastest speed puzzlers in the world. The championship can be so rough where one puzzle basically determines your final ranking. But last weekend I traveled to Munich to the World Series, which is a new speed puzzling competition where they actually test your skills with 6 rounds of different type of puzzles, and sum up performance will determine your final ranking. Now I wanted to find out, have I been just getting lucky in the World Championship? And in this World Series, would I be able to keep my spot in the world's top 100?
Welcome to Puzzle with Emilia, that's me, and today we're not only recapping the Speed Puzzle World Series, but we're also gonna puzzle their 7th surprise challenge puzzle. But before that, let's jump right into our raw feelings and thoughts about the day one that we actually filmed on the spot during the event with my friend Catherine. Alright, quick thoughts about day one puzzles that we both have done, since it's the same rounds for everybody.
We have. Here's the puzzle.
Gradient.
Gradient.
So yeah, my opinion that this is not really, like I really love all these images, but in my opinion this is not a gradient test because I was actually doing pretty well with the gradient, but there's a lot of line work and that I kind of like dribbled over. Same with the these palm trees. I almost felt like this is more like a repetition where you actually have to guess which side is it.
Yeah.
So I think like where I got slower was actually all the non-gradient parts. So then I got a question of like, was it testing my gradient skill in the end?
I mean, obviously it would be hard if you would just do a gradient puzzle. It would be all gradient. But oh, sorry. It's the first time I'm doing this, guys.
I said it even earlier, like I don't see Ravensburger ever doing like gradient, like what's the other brand who does like a lot of these gradient?
Like Cloudberry.
Yeah, I just did not see that, but also I was like, it has to be. To be honest, to me, like almost this was the only thing that was like fully gradient, that I was actually only focusing on the gradient, because even with the yellow part, to be honest, I collected first the things that had a bird. So I was relying more on the birds rather than the gradients.
I was collecting the ones that had the line.
Yeah, a lot of line work. I think this was a lot of line work.
For me here it was gradient work.
Yeah.
Like this, but only like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was Emilia Lieberman had a interview with Alejandro Clemente Leon, world champion for the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. Fantastic human being.
Seemed like a lot of negative criticism, but I actually really liked the puzzle. And
I do like, yes, I have to agree. I'm almost regretting that I already sold this 2 months ago.
You did? How?
Because everybody was like wanting the World Series puzzles, even without knowing what they are, because you can only pick them up from here. And I was like, I want to get rid of my puzzles, so I sold them already 2 months ago. Like, sold. I have a buyer. I think it was just like because you get so into it, and this was an image I had in mind, so my strategy in my head, and I just was so into the moment that I didn't have time to stop and think and readjust my whatever plan I had for my gradient.
Yeah, and you know what I was thinking the gradient would be? I thought the gradient would be like this.
Yes, perfect. Moving into this, I actually just realized I could show this puzzle a bit closer. Ta-da! Okay. Yeah, this actually to me this was more gradient than anything else.
Because there I like flipped and I was like yes, and then I did like this section in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like happy, and then I got sad.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be a repetition.
I was like, this is the repetition.
Yeah, this was the repetition. This was absolutely horrible. But even with this, like you could not, like if you had these pieces, you knew that they would go here.
Yeah.
Same with this. It's not too hard because you have the edges.
Yeah.
I found these pieces, but this was awfully hard to put together.
It was really confusing. Yeah, I collected these.
I was so confused.
So I did the sky.
Yeah.
And then there was like this blue, and like this whole thing.
I think this one was, ew. Yeah. But my problem with this was like it is hard anyway, even if you have like the best strategy in the world. But my problem was that I was so overwhelmed that I was like, I should have just picked like, okay, pay attention to, for example, these lines, or just whatever you want to pay attention to something, because if you pay attention to everything, you're paying attention to absolutely nothing. That was my problem.
Yeah.
And then you find nothing, you're just like, your brain is like, but awfully for me, somewhat reason, this felt faster than this puzzle, but I did have 6 minutes difference.
Now I feel also here the sections are more clear.
Yeah.
And here it's like, because it is like just color and black, the sections, there's like only 2 sections really. It's color and black.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you're stuck somewhere in the color, it feels like you're just stuck everywhere.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, last one from yesterday. So this was supposed to be detailed.
It's surprisingly my favorite puzzle, even though I normally don't like photographs of vegetables.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this one.
I enjoyed this one as well, but I might be biased just because this was my fastest from yesterday, and also I did not expect this to be my fastest when I saw this. It has a lot of details, but I expected detail to be more like, Amy Stewart style, or something like, that Tobias Bremer would do so well, like with Pick and Place.
Yeah.
It does have like, but even with like crepes or whatever, you can't really look at the piece and be like, haha. Like,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you do know where it goes.
in this region, yeah. Why I liked it so much is because of the textures. I'm like a texture person, like purple.
Show closure.
So in that way, it was detailed, but like differently detailed than I would have also guessed, because I was guessing like an illustration.
Yeah, same.
Or I was guessing like, you remember that one with the little photographs from Worlds?
Yeah.
That had like little photographs and then also little trinkets like around it.
Yeah.
That like you wouldn't even know like all that's in the puzzle even after you've done it, just because there's so much stuff on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was expecting, and I was like super surprised when I opened this. I was like, whoa. And then I thought, this is gonna be hard because it's a photograph, and usually
You know what I just started to think? Because now we have 2 photographs, one kind of illustration. Gibsons are usually those UK style paintings.
Yeah.
Is the mystery one going to be illustration? Because then we would have 2 illustrations, 2 photographs, and 2 paintings.
Smart. Yeah, we're recording this just before we do the mystery challenge. And oh my God, look, the unicorns.
Oh, once again, can I get that? I'm trying. How do I?
Okay, they're standing still.
The unicorns over there.
It's Anime.
It's the Switzerland team.
I love it.
As you can see, the hotel was extremely close by, which was a huge plus. I know some people had problems with the lighting and the tables in the venue, and as much as I didn't personally have too much trouble with that, I must say that is something I'm sure the organizers should and will do better next year. Oh, and the unicorns, they are actually my friends Anime and Froni. I got to spend time with so many amazing, supportive and fun people during the weekend that it's actually the reason why I got to spark the puzzle again and do this video for you.
You'll just have to edit this out, putting it back in.
I know, how do I get this?
Is
Final
still everything
words.
on? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, should be. But like not a problem. I think it was a positive problem, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna next like collect all these. Then I saw this, and then I saw this, and then I saw that, and I'm like, so much things that I see all the time, and I want to do it all.
Yeah, but that's what I love about the puzzle.
Yeah.
That's why I love it so much, because it's like you never run out of things to do.
Yeah. I like that part as well, that you look at the piece and you know this is carrot. You know this is the only things that I did not recognize, it's the green stuff that I never eat in my entire life.
And I think this is a puzzle that everyone probably started differently.
And you can do this in so many different orders, because there is just, and I think the most important thing is that actually realizing that when you see something, you should just go for it right away. If it's something that stands out to you right away, just go for it. So you don't use kind of like double time finding it then later again.
Yeah, that's why I was like, F this edge. I'm gonna do this oranges first, because I saw them immediately.
Yeah, and I always say that if you're if it's possible for you, you can actually pick up, like, for example, 3 different sections at the same time. If it's a puzzle where there are actually just few pieces,
Yeah.
it's not like that. If it would be like 3 blocks, then you would collect them at the same time. But with this one, you can.
Yeah, like at some point I was collecting like these in my left hand and this
Yeah.
in my right hand.
Yeah. Was this also your fastest?
No, surprisingly,
Okay,
I was like...
interesting. What was
yeah,
your fastest?
This one. I was 1 minute faster
Okay.
with this than with this. I think the only reason why I was slower with this is that it was the last puzzle of the day and I was tired and my concentration wasn't there and I should have eaten something before this.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna definitely eat something before
I feel like
the
for
last
me,
puzzle.
it maybe was the opposite thing, that I need to get warmed up and get into it.
We both haven't really been speed puzzling, so that's
No.
another
Or puzzling
reason.
in the first place. Not even the casual ones.
So yeah, that's another reason.
You may have heard that all I ever want for a competition is a hard puzzle. And for that reason, day 1 didn't go too well for me, but I really stepped up my ranking for the second day. The second day started with a mystery puzzle, which basically means you're only giving the pieces and no image at all. And the rumor has it that this was actually supposed to be a backup puzzle for the mystery puzzle round, but then they ended up having actually what they originally wanted to. And we're gonna do this one actually next, before I spill the beans about the last day, because boy, I do have opinions. I'm actually not sure what are the exact rules or point of this puzzle challenge, but I do know we're supposed to speed run this one. I very much like the image. The way I do it is very messy, but it's a super fun puzzle, definitely from the easier side. One thing I do have to mention, because I've heard some criticism towards the World Series feeling too commercial, but it's good to understand that, you know, these events cannot be run for free. And I think it's, you know, the standards, the very high standards a lot of us puzzlers have for these events, to actually have the resources to run this kind of like a perfect event, they also need to make money somehow. Anyway, I'm very happy with this puzzle. This would have been much easier than the actual mystery puzzle that we got, and 42 minutes and 32 seconds. I am very happy with my time. But let's take a look what was the actual mystery puzzle that we got. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Okay, day 2. Mystery puzzle. Not a mystery for you.
Not anymore.
But there was a mystery for us. And it was an illustration. I can't English anymore.
I thought it was really cute. All I saw was like the noses of the capybaras.
Yeah.
And
I did not see that. I thought there was like one big teddy bear in the middle or something like that. That was my thought.
yeah, I didn't know how many there were. But yeah, I like this one. I thought it was a fun mystery puzzle because it's not like too hard.
I've never done this brand before, Anatolian.
Me neither.
There was one thing I realized, and I think this was the first on-site mystery puzzle competition there has been. Mm-hmm. And because we shared a table, you could see.
You can see
from
stuff,
what the other person on the table is doing, and if they happen to start with different sections or figured out something. I did it first by accident, but then it was like, well, it's hard not to glance it when you see it's there, because you're literally like this close to each other. Mm-hmm. You see it. Yeah.
But obviously I look, you know, I mean, it would be stupid not to look.
Yeah. I think my tip for the organizers would be that if there is a mystery puzzle round, and because I think it should be, okay, here's the thing, it should be against the rules for the reason that then it depends highly on who are you next to, how much advantage you can get from it. Yeah. However, it is like naturally it's impossible not to glance even by mistake, so then you need to have your own big tables, because then if somebody does this, then that's intentional. But with that close, you can't like avoid it.
I think mystery, like honestly, I like the idea of having a mystery puzzle because it like really showed
Yeah.
Like you had different people winning this round and
Yeah,
stuff, you
yeah,
know, because
definitely.
it shows like you have to be quick on your feet, and if you're good at like different things, and in that sense, I think it was good, like testing the different strengths.
Yeah.
But I think they work best for online competitions.
Yeah.
You know, where you don't, because I felt a little bit like I was spoiling by looking.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, that's true.
and even if my neighbor like didn't, like if my neighbor was faster than me, I would have seen things on it.
Yeah.
And then that would have spoiled for me like a little bit of the process of trying to figure out the mystery.
Yeah.
So,
but other than that, I love the image. I did not see this coming for Gibsons.
no, but
I love it. I kind of like everything here. And
it's really cool, yeah. I opened it, I was like, wow, a glove. Like, duh, like, why didn't we think of making a glove? But yeah, it's really fun. It was just a lot of sky.
Yeah, I think everybody did the blue skies in the end.
Yeah, I had like, I didn't finish this round. I had like a few pieces left.
And because the pieces are funky, like they don't match from the side. So it took me a good moment in the beginning to realize that no, these pieces actually go together.
Yeah.
They just don't go evenly together. But
there's like a few tiles that really stand out from the beginning. Like it really comes down to like piece shape, and that wasn't easy because it's a round puzzle, and these like Gibson's round
I have to
cuts
say,
are very difficult.
Getting the tip from Eileen, I love her,
Yeah.
was that there is this little knot on the actual edge pieces, because there is this kind of like fake edge piece, like, you know, it's just like the curve, like you can get a little bit confused. I still didn't get all of them. I have never done a Gibson's circular or panorama. I've done a couple like very basic one, I think one in EJJ with the train or something. So that's my only experience with Gibsons. So I'm surprised that these were my best rounds with the Gibsons.
It shows that you're a good, like, intuitive puzzler, you know?
Yeah. All right, the last one, my favorite, but
Emilia's favorite and everyone's least favorite.
I'm so happy that I finished with this, and everybody else is like, that should not been last.
I mean, I wouldn't say I like the puzzle. Let's be clear. I like the puzzle. I think it's a fun image. Like it fits with Munich. We're in Munich. This is like very Oktoberfest, you know. It's not that. It's not that of a difficult puzzle, but it has 636 pieces, so it's quite a big, bit bigger.
It's almost like 25% more. So it doesn't sound as big.
It doesn't sound much,
in
but
percentage. It's actually quite a lot.
Like I already noticed it when I was flipping the pieces that it took me like so much longer.
Yeah.
Getting in my head about it and stuff. And then I thought, okay, instead of like being frustrated, I should use my time and sort some things out. And then Victor finished, and I was like, I'm not gonna finish this. So then I was just like, let's just do some fun bits instead of speeding. And then I was building like this whole blurry section here on the side. And not just was this like, I think the hardest puzzle of all the puzzles that we did, but also it was the last puzzle that everyone was doing. So you also like people were tired, like all. I mean, I definitely felt it. And that was the reason why I was like so defeated, because like my back was hurting. Like I put all my energy into like the other puzzles.
I finished.
Yes.
And I am so happy about it.
Tell us how you did it.
Physicality for this long, especially under conditions where you are surrounded by world-class players.
Top left, we're also seeing another mascot, Amelia Lieberman's red panda, keeping watch over her puzzling.
And this was so hard. I had this whole thing open. It was hour and 22. So the max time limit was like hour and 30. And I was just like, there's no way on earth that I'm gonna leave this unfinished. And I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And it was, I don't know what on earth did I do in the end. It was hour and 26, and I started shape sorting, because I was like, if I shape sort, and I was like calculating in my head, I can still do this in 4 minutes. And I actually finished just 1 minute after that. So that actually really helped.
Yeah.
But I also do my messy shape sorting really, really like quickly. And I also don't stop puzzling at the same time. So I kind of like took that one shape that I'm already looking for, one spot. Mm-hmm. But I'm so happy I finished. And then I was even happier when I saw that so many other...
Yeah, that like, nobody else had finished.
Yeah, like top speed puzzles, because I was, like as I told you, next to Olivia. Karen was behind me, and they just beat me every round on the first day in the morning. Like, I'm talking about like 10 minutes difference. Mm-hmm. And then with the Gibsons, I was like...
I am the winner. But it's just like I always say, it's like the harder puzzle you give me, the better I do in comparison to others. Of course, this was also like time-wise the slowest. For me, as is for everybody.
Yeah.
But in ranking-wise, I just do so much better.
So by the time I reached this, I was like, I just couldn't do it anymore. And like a lot of the people I talked to, they were like, yeah.
Like my back was hurting too, but I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna push through the pain. I don't care. This is the last puzzle I will do.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I do know that I do have the endurance and I do have my mind game pretty good. So that's like where I know that I can actually beat somebody who is kind of like skill wise faster than me.
Yeah.
Because
also what really surprised me about this one, I think it was the biggest gap between the first finisher and the second finisher.
Yeah, even in the top 10 I looked, there was times like hour and 8 minutes. So that is crazy that I'm like less than 20 minutes from the top 10 of the World Series.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really happy that this was last one because you know the peak end rule. Now I feel good about the whole event just because I finished it strong. Any final words of wisdom?
If you want to go to the World Series next year, I would recommend coming. It's really fun. What is also fun is if you're a slow puzzler like me, you still get to do all 6 rounds.
Yeah.
I think that's really
and you
fun.
get all the puzzles, and there's kind of like no ifs because everything was unpublished.
Yeah,
everybody did the exact same puzzles.
Yeah,
and whether we agreed or disagreed with for example the day one categories, in the end we had different type of puzzles.
Yeah. I mean, and it's fine.
Accurate.
It's fine, I think, to surprise people a little bit with like what they expect and what then they get, you know. So I think I don't have a problem with that at all.
And this is Catherine, by the way. I just realized.
People know me.
Yeah, people know you. You're famous.
Maybe not.
Yeah, well, good.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so here's my opinions. These are the rankings of each round that I have, and I ended up being 107th, which kind of drops me out of the top 100 if we were talking about World Series. Now, this is what pisses me off a little bit. So the rule was, because the last puzzle, a lot of people did not finish it, and especially a lot of people who were a bit faster than me on the other rounds. Now, the rule was that if you didn't finish your puzzle, you got 5-second penalty for each missing piece. That means that your PPM, meaning pieces per minute, or kind of like speed, would be 12 pieces per minute. And we can already kind of calculate that if you, let's say that you finished, the time ended and you have 550 pieces done. So you're basically missing still 86 pieces. So if we calculate that 550 pieces into speed, the speed would be around 6 pieces per minute. And now if we calculate with the 5-second rule, those last 86 pieces, that would mean with the 5-second rule that you're putting 12 pieces in a minute. That's like kind of like double your speed compared what you actually already did. So let's say now that you got time penalty of 7 minutes, but in reality your time was actually double the slower, so you should have gotten a 40-minute penalty. I don't know if that makes sense, but I personally feel, since I ended up 107th, I feel like if they would have actually recorded the actual finishing times and not this kind of seconds penalty you're getting for the rest of the pieces, but instead, for example, having a time limit of 2 hours, I think I would have been in top 100 just because the actual times of finishing would have been longer, in my opinion. But it's not such a big deal for me, luckily. And even though I maybe disagree with the day one if the puzzle images were specifically for each challenge that was promised, I think the end purpose was served, since we did all 6 different type of puzzles and everybody did the same ones. And I have to mention one thing I kind of missed. I wish we would have had one puzzle that was clearly kind of like pick and place style. So you know, kind of like the ones that Tobias Bremer is excellent at. By the way, If you were at any time in the venue wondering where is Topias, let's say that he was quite easy to spot. But other than that, we had also plenty of time to hang around with people. We played Puzzle Chicken on the last night, and it was my first time that I won in Puzzle Chicken. Now, if you don't know what Puzzle Chicken is, the rules are very simple. There's 12 minutes on the timer. Everybody has a 100-piece puzzle. You're supposed to put on the little note that when do you start your puzzle. And the winner is who starts the latest but still finishes the puzzle before the 12 minutes. So if you go too low, there's a chance that you won't finish the puzzle. If you start too early, there might be somebody who starts later than you and actually finishes the puzzle. And I've played Puzzle Chicken quite many times, and I never finished the puzzle until this one last time, and I also won, and I was super happy about it. I flew back and my luggage was going to the security double check, probably because of this. So I always go with 2 luggages, because one was filled with puzzles and that I sold, and then I just smash it inside. And apparently that is super shady. But yeah, that's about it. Whether you were actually participating or you're just watching their live streams, I want to hear about your experience, so put it in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!